Hello and welcome. Today we are going to go ahead and take a look at the Nova Destroyer. So the Nova Destroyer is part of my next line of combat ships, and destroyers are indicated primarily by two things. First, they are Class B ships, and second, they are more designed to put the maximum amount of firepower on target, but not necessarily be able to go long range. Therefore, destroyers only need to sleep maybe four, have a galley, though not necessarily a full mess hall, have a cargo hold, an armory, an infirmary, but they also only need to carry about 1,000 cargo and about 200 or so fuel. Now, in game terms, this means that these ships are going to be late game combat ships. Every single one of them, I believe, has the Mag Inertial 104 DS, which is the best reactor in game for Class B ships at 39 power. Um, Beyond that, these ships are something that you can go out and you can brawl with. They may have Class A or Class B engines, depending upon how I felt like building them, but they are definitely something that you could go out, engage in ship to ship combat, maybe hit a couple of points of interest, but they're not something that you would want to go ahead and do an extended exploration with or want to try and manage outposts with. So, as mentioned, this one is the Nova Destroyer, which means that it is built entirely out of Nova Galactic parts, and you can find everything that you need for this ship right here on New Homestead on Titan. Now, one other fun note about this is, in general, I tend to build with merged ship builds. This means that I will go ahead and have multiple parts overlapping each other for usually some sort of appearance's sake. I tend not to overlap my reactor and grav drive, for instance, or stack my engines on top of each other. But, emerging structural elements happens quite frequently. However, this particular ship, despite me not making any particular effort to do so, came out entirely vanilla. You do not need any flip glitches or merges to build this ship. So, enough of talking about it. Let's go ahead, take a quick tour, take a look at how the ship is built, and then we will go ahead and take it out for a combat tour. So you can see that we enter right here in our Nova Galactic Armory. So on this side, we have a door, and this is leading to the Nova Galactic all-in-one 2x2 hab. So there's a bathroom right here. This is also the primary galley or cooking station for the ship. Got a little storage area, a small relaxation area over here, another little storeroom over here, and then on this side we have two beds, another little table, some place to do some paperwork, and a window looking out. Note, window here is optional. Coming back, we have this door here, which is leading into the Nova Galactic 2x2 living quarters. So this gives us another two desks to work at, another bathroom, little table to eat at, a small little galley, but more importantly, your coffee machine. This does also give you the pool table. And then over here we have weight sets, two more beds, and then another little relaxation and entertainment center. So that is the four beds that are minimum requirements for this ship. Coming through this door, we will find ourselves going upwards, and we are in the Cabot Bridge. Again, this is the one that has the stairs on it and a wonderful view. Then over here, we have a door that is leading into the one by one, not one by one, two by one control station. Fun note about the control station for Nova Galactic, it includes a galley. Right here, you can see we have our docking access. And then when we open this door, we find ourselves in a companionway with a ladder. Now, I will note this ladder does irritate me some, and I will tell you why in just a moment. But first, coming on this side, we find ourselves in a 2x1 all-in-one B, which gives us another 3 beds and a bathroom. And on this side, yet another 2x1 all-in-one B, which again provides us 3 more beds and another bathroom. So that means that the ship has a total of 9 beds and supports a little bit more than your average destroyer has to. Alright, coming down, we find ourselves in my most irritating 1x1 companionway. Now, the reason I'm calling this irritating is because if it put a door there like I was hoping it would, then we would connect right through here to get to the armory. Instead, you have to go up the ladder, on over, and then down the stairs to get here. So, a strong case for using the Play Stores Yourself mod. Moving back here, though, we do find ourselves in the infirmary. You got your research station and your pharmaceutical lab over here. And then, going down even further, we find ourselves in the 2x3 or 3x2, whichever one it calls it, cargo hold. So this is 3 wide and 2 long. Yes, I need to go up 2. Alright, and that is the full tour of this ship. Aside from the one gripe about not having a door where I want it, seems to be a fairly easy ship layout. So, let's go ahead and take a look at how this ship is built.
Hey, what can I do? Okay, no problem.
Alright, so hopping in the ship builder. You can also see that it's a fairly compact ship, though not quite one that can land on a small landing pad. So getting our colors in our palette, you can see we've got a blue, a teal, and then a red. Alrighty, and now let's select all and delete it. So as usual, I'm going to start with the NG6 landing bay. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my armory. Place my armory so that way the entrance from the landing bay is coming into the front of this armory. And then, on this side of the ship, I'm going to go ahead and place that Nova living quarters. And then on this side of the ship, I'm going to place the all-in-one berth. Next, I'm going to come up front here and grab my cockpit, which is just whichever the best Cabot bridge you can get is. Rotating back around, right here, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself the control station. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab a pair of companionways. Alright, underneath here, I'm going to go ahead and grab that Nova Galactic 2x3. Push that forward. So I will note that it is technically possible that it would do something really silly, like make you go through the armory, up the bridge, back down here, down the ladder, and then up a ladder to get into the living quarters or the all-in-one. It hasn't done that yet, but I wouldn't put it past the base game. Moving on, off the back of the middle armory, we are going to go ahead and place that infirmary. Then up here, I'm going to go ahead and grab the all-in-one B and copy that on over to here. So from this, you can now see that there's literally this potential change here to make you climb ladders to get into these could cause a pathing issues, though it hasn't so far. You could also pull this back one, and then the only pathing issues you might get is whether it's going to cooperate with getting you into the infirmary or not. But I had it here in the initial build, and we just hope that that works. All right, now that we have all of that, I need to come over here and grab myself my Docker. Alrighty, so that is all the habitable portions of this ship. So what comes next? Well, first things first, let's go ahead and start slapping on those portholes. Everybody loves a good porthole. Next, I'm going to grab my engines. So right here, I'm going to go ahead and grab, I'm using the Dun 71 engines. And eventually it's going to put it where I want it. There we go. And you can see this is the layout that I chose for it. All right, now that the engines are in place, let's go ahead and grab our landing gear. So for this ship, I'm using the NG-20 landing gear. And I'm just having it in the kind of standard configuration, but not the wide configuration. Though you could certainly go ahead and do the wide back here. All right, landing gear in place. Let's now go ahead and grab the reactor, the grav drive, and the fuel. So basically in front of the all-in-ones up top, you can go ahead and lay out the reactor, grav drive, and fuel in any layout that you want. So starting with the reactor, I'm going to grab the 104DS. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab, I was using the R4000 Alpha Grav Drive. And then for my fuel tanks, I was using a pair of the 500T HE3 tanks. This does give this ship 420 total fuel, which is above my requirements. So this means that this ship, while being a destroyer, tends to go ahead and fulfill more roles than the standard destroyer has to. Next, between these landing gear, I'm going to go ahead and stick some cargo. So for this ship, I'm using the 20T hauler cargo, and then the 10T hauler cargo behind that. These two cargo holds are all the cargo on this ship, and that's enough to get me to 1665 cargo. Alrighty then, what is next? So at this point, I need to go ahead and grab my shield, and then I need to grab all of my structural elements. So let's go ahead and start up top first. So coming on over to the structural, I've got the Nova Cowling, and then I have the Nova Cowling mid. This is the 1L, this is the 2L, and then the 2L pushed back. Then I'm going to copy the 2L and put it in the forward and back configurations, just like so. Then over here, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Nova Cowling side pieces and place a pair of them just like so. And place another pair of them down here. And looks like I have a little bit more. And place those just like so. Alrighty. Now, nope, not quite correct. There's too many. Push these forward one. And then I want the Nova braking engines. Alright. Now from here, I have a porthole. Again, I have the porthole over here on this side. I did not put a porthole on this side because doing so would cause the ship to, or the living quarters to lose the kind of crew relaxation area and the TV. So this decision not to have the porthole on this side was more because I would lose interior stuff. However, you could very easily put that porthole there and be perfectly acceptable doing so. Next up, I have some Nova thruster arrays. And I just slap these little thruster arrays around on the ship, wherever it seemed to make sense. Alrighty. Um, Now, back here, I have this spot here and this spot here. On one of these spots, I'm going to place my shield. Does not really matter which side. If you want to, you could hide your shield by just, say, connecting it here and then hiding it underneath this Nova cowling. However, since that would be literally the only thing I was hiding, I decided not to and instead just put the shield out in the open. Now, I am using the 28T Defender shield because this is the best Class B shield that you can get. Period. Finally, I have these two Nova cowlings on the bottom here with a front connection point. I decided to go ahead and stick a pair of Nova weapon mounts on them. There you have it. That is the base ship design. All that's left now is adding the weapons. So what did I decide to run? Well, first off, I decided to go ahead and up top here, scroll on down till I get to the PBO 100s. Putting them in the forward-facing configuration, I could place 4 of these facing forwards on my ship. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and place 4 PBO 175s. Now, do note that with all of this, if you decided to join the Vanguard, you could go ahead and replace any of these weapons with the Vanguard Obliterators and be perfectly acceptable. However, I decided to spice things up a little bit, and I wanted to toss in the Hunter Mag 450 missile launchers. Now, this ship is not lacking in places to attach weapons. We've got 2 more weapon attachments under here, another 2 more under these Nova cowlings. You could very easily replace any of these Nova thruster arrays with more weapon mounts. So there's plenty of options to choose from if you want to change how you've got it loaded out. But as you can see here, this was the end result of my ship. So all I've got left to do now is paint it. And then take it out for a spin. So let's let's go see how it performs. And it looks like whatever I built the ship out of took a little bit of damage at some point. All right. So let me lower power to my engines. Come on out here to Serpentis. Fully power those engines. And see who's coming out to party. Is anybody coming out to party? Okay. Ah, I see. There's hostile activity here. One, two. Looks like I've got 3 targets to choose from. All right, one down. All right, 2 down. And there we go. So, uh, with 3 opponents, I didn't really need to make any particular effort to go ahead and get range. That is the primary advantage of using the Class B shields. 1500 shield, 4 shield skills is quite a lot. If I can't find the other loot very quickly, I'm just going to go find. Alright. Ah, here we are. Finally, the Veyron Hem. There we go. Ship parts. Just what I was looking for. Alrighty. But, as I was saying, we can go ahead and afford to stay in combat a bit closer. However, using the missiles means that we're having to close in, we're having to lock on. Woo! Okay, I spoke too soon. Wow. So, though, apparently, if we run into the higher end targets, it is still very quick to burn through our shields. Alright. So, as usual, it's these Veyron Prophecy 3s that are causing me all my problems. Alright, and I ran out of missiles. Alright, and then all that's left is this Veyron Hem. Alrighty, there we go. Okie dokie then. So, let's go ahead and pick up our loot. Ooh, 9 nuclear fuel rods. They were ready for something. Alrighty. Should have enough time for one more encounter. We'll see if the next one is as rough as this one was. Is there anything coming? Okay, well, I guess we won't be having the encounter over there then. Yay, list colonists. Moving on. Alright, I don't see anybody else here, so maybe we can go ahead and get a nice brawl. Ah, here we are. A Prophecy 3, just what we wanted to start with. Ooh, 2 Prophecy 3s. There we go. And there we go. Alright. So that is the Nova Destroyer in combat. If you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. Make the algorithm nice and happy. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one.